Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. Time to have another bench talk here. Got some things accomplished on the 55, the Badman. I'm kind of pleased with the progress, although still as slow as it is, making some ground on this, getting some stuff covered on it. So we'll go over that in a little bit. As you noticed by the thumbnail, I did pick up some stash ads from Ollie's again. And by the way, the short that I posted, I think it was Saturday, I put that up. We was heading to a movie and then went to that other Ollie's. And guys, I got in there and really not very much there. I did end up with the other 007 police car because I do kind of want to do one of those and a plain Jane. I want to do a version of the police car and then a plain Jane version, just like I'm planning on doing with the 67 Impala 4-door. So kind of want to do the same theme on the Galaxy. But they didn't have much. They had some speed racers and some planes and ships, I think, and stuff like that. But anyway, stopped up at our Ollie's this evening, and I just wanted to go in there and see if they had anything left, because it had been like about a week since I was there, and I figured most of that stuff's all going to be gone, but I want to see what they had left. Guys, they had a bunch left. They had a lot of the cop cars left, and they had a Tiki trike was there, of course some ships and stuff, and a couple of these here that I picked up that I thought was really cool. Just got two of them tonight, this being the first one here, the Barris T-Buggy. I thought that was pretty cool. I did see that in there before, but I did not pick it up, and they still had like 2 or 3 of them, so like, that'd be a cool one to add to the stash. And the really cool thing about this, check it out, Corvair engine in that. Pretty neat. Horizontally opposed 6-cylinder. So some neat stuff. Just a couple different options there. You can build it. I'm not sure yet. Like I said, it's going to go sit in the stash. I don't know how long it'll be there. I don't know how I'll do it. Probably like this when I do. But outside of that, there's one for the stash. So the Barris T-Buggy. Throw that back there. And then this is the one really that I mainly went back to see if they still had. This one here, the by MPC Willys, and I know most people say it is actually Willis, but I will forever call it Willys. It's just one of them things like the Diamond Rio, or which is actually a Diamond REO, because that is Ransom Eli Olds' initials. So, but for me, I will forever call this a Willys. So anyway, there it is, military Jeep. And it comes with this cardboard, full-color cardboard backdrop. So I thought that was pretty cool, just from an old Godzilla movie from way back in the day there. And then you can do that a couple different ways, too. So I didn't have any standard regular military Jeep, so I kind of wanted that kind of cool to have in the stash there. So again, it's going in the stash. No immediate plans to build this one. I just wanted to pick it up. All right, guys. Now, I said last time or a couple times ago on these bench talks, I would try to include a vintage kit. Not necessarily vintage as far as how many years back it is, but maybe one that's from an older time. And this one happens to be from the 50s right here, guys, or 60s, the 50s car. But anyway, this is the old customizing kit, 3-in-1. Pretty cool. Kids 6 to 60. Now, on the end of this box, it does say 58 Edsel hardtop. However, that is not what is in the box. But it is a 50s kit, a 50s car from this same era. And I don't know if this was like an annual, and this would have been from 58. That's very possible. Now, I'm not really sure. Back in the days before they put cellophane, they just taped the box up. And then, I guess, stories I heard, hobby owners had to kind of get on the kids because they'd cut the tape on the box, I guess, and maybe dig out certain parts. But anyway, that's just something that I had heard that had happened back in the day. So, but anyway, we're going to open this up here real quick. I'm going to show you what's inside this box because I think it's pretty cool. Got this from a friend of mine. He had it and gifted this to me quite a few years ago. But what we have in here, guys, is a 1950, I believe it's a 9, guys, 59 Continental Mark IV convertible. Check that out. So I had started on it. Now the back end, everything is pretty good shape on it. The chrome's decent. You know, everything looks good there. The front, they had some of the customizing parts, so it's kind of puckied up the grill. So I don't know if I could ever reclaim that or not, but if nothing else, it is complete as far as the grill goes. And they had put, I'm not sure if there's any in the box. I don't know what you would call those. Almost like louvers, maybe. They had a lot of those in those old kits. They had it in the center of the hood here, and I think they had some on the deck lid back here. But I actually at one time started working on this, try to get that all cleaned back up. Now, it doesn't have a boot or a top for it, so I was going to be in search of one of those at some point in time. I just kind of put it back. I had other projects come up that I wanted to work on. See there, they had some side pipes on it. I took all that stuff off, and somebody just attempted to paint the bottom, looks like with a marker of some type, possibly. But just a cool old kit, guys. You see there it says Mark IV, as I keep bumping the camera again. So Mark IV there. Now this one had a lot of paint in it. Excuse me. And it's before I actually started using purple power. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in some purple power again, see if I can't get all that old paint stripped off of there, and get that Mark IV to show through on this side too. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so yeah, and there's different parts in here. You know, here's the big thick axles they used to have in there. I got some sanding sticks. Yeah, here's those pieces that was on the hood. And I just took them off. I said, I don't know if those are supposed to be louvers or what those were, but anyway. And then you got some skirts in here, and I don't know if they are for, no, they wouldn't be for, I don't think they would be for this kit, but there are some skirts for whatever. There are a couple of those in there. Check this out. A bottle of Comet Dope Red. Check that out. Called a dope back then. 10 cents. Yeah, that's going back a ways, guys. But just a bunch of different odds and ends parts. Some wheels, you know, wheels, white walls there. Here's some leftover decals from something. So racing decals there. So, but just kind of cool. Got the screws, got the mirrors down in there. All kind of stuff. Like I said, it's a mix and match, I think, of a couple different kits. Here's the glass I had just laid, but it was already pucky, but I think I can polish that up pretty nice. Again, slap my wrist, guys, should be in plastic, so I think I'll leave it out and probably do that. I always say that, don't I? Do it at the end of the video, so kind of make a fool of myself. Anyways, enough rambling. All right, but anyway, guys, that's our vintage kit from the stash this time. Like I said, I've had this for quite a while, gifted to me by a friend, and I appreciate that quite very much. And I said one of these days I'll get back onto that. We'll get digging back into it and see what we can't come up with on that. So put that all back together there. Put the lid on it. We'll just set that back there. It's a nice old box art. I like those old square boxes. There was some of the kits. Yeah, right there. See there? Copyright 1958 AMT Corp. So that would have been from 58. Would have been like an annual kit. There's your 58 Ford, 58 Pontiac, Chevrolet. There's the Edsel there, which was supposed to be in this box, and then a 58 Buick. Would be so cool to have this stuff, guys, that you don't see anymore. That would be so neat to see those start coming back up. Anyway, all right, enough of that one. So I'll set that back here. You can kind of also keep an eye on the box. Got some progress done. I did a little video short on this where I got. So I'm just going to kind of go over it with it real quick. I did not get the body primed yet on this, but I did get the chassis. The rear chassis is going together nicely. Well, sort of. And I'm going to explain that in just a second. I started on this, and the bottom kind of got... what happened, guys, I was kind of doing this late. I kind of got in a little bit of a rush, and some of it's just a little on the sloppy side. Now on here, I was going to go back over with like a chrome pen maybe and cover up where this was like unavoidable. That's where it was attached to the sprue. So I may just go and take some Molotov over that. But what I might do, guys, is I might actually rough this bottom side up just a little bit. Just more like dirt, not necessarily rust or anything. And I will use I've got a couple of these Tamiya Weathering Master. There's some like brown rust, orange rust, which I would not use on that. There's some gunmetal, and then just soot, like to kind of dirty it up, you know, kind of dull it down a little bit. So I'll use that on the bottom probably. Like I said, just lightly, just enough to give it a well, like it's been drag racing on a regular basis. But what happened here, guys, I had kind of started to do a test fit, and it looked like everything was going to go smooth. But what happened here, I don't know if you can see this. Right there is a gap. That's all the farther I could get that wheel to go on. Now this one's up all the way. And actually these have just a little bit of a canter to them. So I don't know if I can fix that. And honestly though, guys, sitting there, it does not look too bad. Everything looks like it lines up good. I'll get this back in here. It looks like it all lines up okay. I mean, see, it looks good from there. From the back, it looks pretty good. The tires are about the same spacing, but you can see them turn in just a little bit. But for what it is, guys, I don't think I'm going to worry about it. It's not, I don't think, unless you go start pointing it out, I don't think it's all that noticeable. Maybe on that side, maybe I can tweak that just a little bit. But anyway, it is what it is, guys. And I'll say that a lot, but that's just where we are. And then for the tires, I got them all grunged up here like they've been used. And I actually used the same grit on the sidewalls. I actually intended to do like a 320 or something on the side instead of the 220. But what I did then after I did that, and it looked exactly the same. So I wanted that contrast in there. So what I did is I just went and took a tester's dull coat right here. I just took his tester's dull coat and brushed it on the side of the sidewalls there. So it give it just a little bit different look. So the bottom and the side look just a little different. So that's the route we went with that. And then here's the front tires. I got them, did the same thing. I got them a little weathered up there, and then did the same thing. And I don't think I didn't sand these sidewalls. I just put the dull coat on, so not so shiny. So that's how that made that turn out there. So, but anyway, guys, that's where I'm at. We're moving on. I want to show you one more thing. We're talking about mold lines on this 55 body. Because, you know, guys, that's a 60s mold. I think 69 maybe somewhere where that was originally done in that ballpark, I think. But I believe that was a 60s mold. And I'll just show you comparison. Here's the one that I've scored all the lines on. Doors. You know, both doors, and then up here these door lines here. I'm just going to show you the comparison. Check this out. See, you can see that deck lid. Look, even back, this was early 80s when this kit was produced. And look, they were thin back then. And they could have been on the original. They may just had naturally shallow lines. But so you can see how much I had to dig into that to get those to pronounce. This being one of the original 80s kits. Now, you can't see it up here because of the decals and everything, but the way I did it back then. But again, this was my first glue together. Maybe anybody's watching that had not seen when I started this rebuild. This is to recreate my first glue together and how, if I would have built it back then and had the skills I have now, how it would have come out. So, but that's the original one I had. Again, and then this is the more modern release. It was the you could build a street machine, or it had the parts for the Badman and the regular street machine in there, the box. So, but guys, that's where we're at. We're coming along on this. Did not get anything done on the engine. I did get the seam filled in. I got to smooth all that out, get some primer and paint. I get some primer and paint on the body. Go over, check all my lines, do my wet sanding, smooth it all out. And then I get this front suspension in. And guys, I'm going with the stuff just like it is in the kit, just like I did it on this one. So it's going to have the small block engine in it. And like I said, I'm not going to detail these because just to give the illusion that they don't even exist. And then we're just going with the dumps out the side there. So, because what this is from a 39 Chevy street rod. That's that 427, I believe it is, which had the big headers and all that stuff. But anyway, I replaced that somewhere along the way. All right, guys, I think that's all there is for this one. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to cover. We just looked at the old vintage kit from the stash. Just a little piece from the 50s there coming back through. So true to form on that. And then the stash ads, and then the 55 Bel Air Badman. And I'm hoping I get this done by the deadline. I think it was like March 6th, I believe. So we're supposed to have some pretty warm days next week. So if I can get this body all prepped, we might just be able to get some yellow paint on this guy and get him real close. So anyway, all right, guys, that's all I got for now. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. So until next time, this is Eric from Eric's Model Garage saying you guys have a great day. God bless you, and happy modeling.